Well, hello again, and welcome to the latest edition of the Hermeneutologist's Guide to the Classical Organ. Apologies, it's been a little while since the previous episode, but it's very nice to be back. Thank you for the few comments I've had from various people urging me on to make another edition. That spurred me on to make this particular recording. The piece of music I'm going to play today is by Bach. It's called Ich ruf zu dir, Herr, Jesu Christ. I cry to you, Lord Jesus Christ. BWV 639. This is written for organ. Bach also wrote this as a church cantata, which is BWV 177, I think. You probably haven't heard this piece of music before for the organ, but there is a piano transcription by Busoni for this that's performed relatively often. It's a beautiful transcription, and you might have heard that. But as I say, we're going to listen to the organ version today. As to the registration, it's one of these pieces of music by Bach where the tune and the accompaniment are on different manuals here, so different sounds. So the tune here is going to be played with the right hand, which will be played on the bottom keyboard, the choir on this instrument. And then the accompaniment will be played with the left hand, which is on the middle keyboard, the middle manual, which is the grate on this instrument. And then, of course, pedals below played with the feet, which are providing a pulse to this piece of music. Now, the accompaniment is a gentle piece of music, it's a soft piece of music, so the accompaniment in the left hand will be just a simple flute stop. But in the right hand with the tune, we're going to have a rather more interesting arrangement. And I'd normally play this with a stop that's called a sesquilateria, which is a sesquilateria stop is a sort of double mutation stop. And so what this means is when you press a particular note, the sound that is sounded isn't actually at that, the note you pitch, it's not at that pitch. So this sesquilateria stop actually has two ranks of pipes differently pitched above the note that one presses. So for example, if one presses the note middle C, the notes that actually sound are the G above that, so a fifth above that, and the E above that, so that's an octave and a third above that. And then one would play the sesquilateria with a foundation 8-foot stop, flute stop, and you have this rather nice, again I would say, ethereal sound. The particular instrument we have here doesn't have a sesquilateria stop, but by combining two different mutation stops, we get the same effect. So I'm actually, you'll probably see if I just move that way, the far right hand side there are three lights on, so those are three different ranks of pipes I'm going to play, which is the basic flute stop at 8-foot, and then two different mutations that effectively recapitulate the sesquilateria and create the sound we have here. I hope you enjoy the piece of music. It's quite meditative, it's quite thoughtful, it's really also quite haunting as well. The first part repeats, and then we get into this rather extended, rather beautiful harmonics as the tune develops before we come to a gentle close. As ever, if you're going to listen to this piece of music from this recording, the health warning is not to use your laptop speakers or other things like that. Use some decent headphones or a proper hi-fi to recapitulate sound from the recording, because then you'll hear all the colour in the instrument properly, particularly the pedals, and it'll just sound ghastly if you play it through speakers on your laptop. Of course, the better thing to do is to hear it played live by somebody who really knows what they're doing, or to listen to another recording. And of course, it's worth listening to different recordings of all of these pieces of music, because they're played on different instruments that sound differently, and people play them in different registrations, and people play them in different ways as well. And that's kind of one of the interests about organ music. So with that health warning, thank you very much again for tuning into this edition of the Hermeneutologist's Guide to Classical Organ, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.